Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back with another Sister Wives Talk Back review. Let me start off by saying I'm sorry for just getting this out there. I completely forgot that they were doing this, and had I not gotten a DM about it, I would have thought that this was coming out on Sunday for some reason. Anyways, so I'm not going to go over everything in this episode because a lot of it was the same stuff that we've seen before. But if there is something that you want to discuss that happened, feel free to put it down in the comment section so we can talk about it further. When we begin the episode, seeing various extensions of the Sister Wives sit down for what is going to be a talk back for the final episode in this season. I am surprised that Robyn does not look as distraught as she did with the last talk back, but as the episode goes on, we see her distress because she begins that act that she does so well. Okay, so after 32 years, Meri has realized that there really is no commitment or covenant with Cody because he's already broken it. When she makes the statement, Robyn is visibly disturbed, and she says to Cody, from everything that you know about us and our covenants, do you feel like you somehow have broken it? Robyn really does this, what she thinks is amazing job of asking him certain questions in a way that makes him appear as if he's a better person than he really is, but it doesn't work. And we see it for what it is. He responds to her and says, Meri's the one who had the affair, but because it wasn't physical, he thought that they could get past it. But he didn't break any covenants. I don't know what their covenant entails, but I would think that at some part of it, it would include that you're supposed to love and cherish your wives as a part of it. So in my opinion, Cody did break it. Meri feels she was emotionally abandoned by Cody many years before the catfishing even happened. And you have Christine agreeing that he did pull away and he pulled back from her emotionally. And really, she said it was from all of them emotionally before that, especially in Vegas. Christine says that she feels like for Cody, he pulled back whenever that whole situation happened where Meri supposedly told him not to come over anymore. But I think that it happened before that, because why would Meri just tell him out of the blue not to come over anymore? There were things happening like them laying in the same bed and him turning his back to her. There were things that went on that led up to that. He said that when we moved to Flagstaff 5 years ago, that he did tell her that they could start over again. But while spending time with her, he just saw that what they had wasn't healthy. And my thing is, if you felt that way while spending time with her for the limited amount of time that he did, why not let her know that? Janelle says that Meri, we could say a lot of things about Meri, but Meri has been very loyal despite how unhealthy things have been with them. She just wonders at what point Meri would see that it wasn't healthy for her to still stay with this. When they show the clip where Meri states that she found out watching the same time basically as we did that he no longer considered himself married to her or her as a wife, that it bothered her and that it kind of, showed her where things are. And Cody says he doesn't understand why she keeps playing this. First of all, Meri isn't the one who keeps replaying this. TLC is. TLC is showing us repeats of the same things that have been said on many occasions, time and time again. So Cody doesn't like the fact that she's making mention of him doing that being wrong, but it was. He thinks that because Meri was addicted. That's why she keeps bringing this up. And I think Meri's bringing it up because she's being asked questions by producers, which means that she's going to have to respond. The same way Christine is speaking on you when she's being asked questions by producers. And her supposed BFF, the little birdie, is sitting there seeing Cody say all of this, and she's doing absolutely nothing to defend Meri. Way to project, because that's what Cody's doing in this instance, is he's projecting, because that's what the feathered people do. The feathered people are the ones that keep acting like the victim. It isn't Meri in this instance acting like the victim. I may not like the fact that Meri continues to lie about the catfish, because I feel like her doing this gives Cody something to keep like landing on. If you say, this man neglected me, he stopped communicating with me, he stopped being there for me emotionally, he stopped being there with me physically, he was not doing the things that a husband should do, and as a result I sought this from somewhere else, then so be it. We can move past it, but she continues to lie about it. I may not like that sometimes she's overbearing. I may not like the way that she speaks sometimes. They may not like that Meri is confrontational, but they cannot deny that Meri was not loyal to a fault. If she wasn't, she wouldn't be where she is right now. Janelle said that they've all loved Robyn and her kids when they initially came in the family. And unfortunately, things have happened that have kind of shifted the way that the family operates. While they're showing clips of Janelle and Christine, Cody looks so bothered. He does not like seeing them interact. Every time they're on the screen, you see him lean back and kind of roll his eyes a little bit. Like he is so bothered by the fact that these women are doing well without him. Meri says that she likes the fact that Janelle and Christine have forged this relationship, that this wasn't how it always was, but she likes how it is now. I don't understand why they feel the need to keep telling us that Janelle and Christine at one point had problems. We know that they had problems. They both said it. And they both also said that once they moved to Flagstaff, that their kids were hanging out with each other and things of that nature, and they got closer. We saw it. So you don't need to keep telling us that to try to make it seem like they only got close because Cody's out the picture. Janelle says Cody wants to make it seem how they now have this common ground and they're getting along because they're bonding against him. And that Christine has converted Janelle to hate him. But that's not the case. Christine and her are just friends. And without all of the things that came, the different dynamics of being, sister wives and all the different stuff that comes from plural marriage and having to deal with all of that, they've come to a place where they can just focus on their friendship. I'm going to say this much, though, and some of you may not like me for it. I do feel like Christine needs to watch Janelle, because Janelle is friends with her now, but Janelle was privy to a lot of things when it came to Cody's feelings about Christine and things of that nature that she did not tell Christine. That's just, if I was Christine, I would watch Janelle. Not saying Janelle's not a good person, but Janelle is sneaky. Christine says she grew up terrified because of all the end of the world talk. We see different clips of them talking about the end of the world and things of that nature. And one thing that I noticed while they were talking about it is that Janelle had a cup on her couch that said, like, rescue your own damn self. She said she used to ask her father a lot of questions like, when is the world going to end and when is Jesus coming and things of that nature. And Christine's father was like, you're 14 years old, just live. I can kind of relate to that, because growing up SDA, we were told a lot that Jesus is coming soon and that life was going to get difficult and all these things are going to happen. So I can kind of understand. Now, not to the doom and gloom that they heard, apparently, because we weren't stockpiling groceries and things of that nature, but we're supposed to be preparing our hearts and minds for his return. A viewer says, Cody and Robyn, I think it's awesome that you guys found each other and just want to be together. I think you should own it and just say that. Now, was this statement a little like, y'all just want to be with each other, just say it? Yes. But the statement kind of went completely over Cody's head because he starts going in, I think the guy's name was Jeff from Twitter. He says, like, Jeff, you're a victim of 20 hours of our life for just 365 days. And he's going on, and the bird knows that her balding eagle is going to say something ignorant. So we see her try to cover up his mouth, like muzzle him. And she says, just stop, just stop. She says he was being nice. Cody says, we didn't want our family to break up. Isn't that obvious? The bird says, I know, but this person is not trying to be rude. I agree. I do not think that Cody wanted their family to break up on paper. I believe that Cody wanted this situation to be similar to what he had with Meri, where these women still remain married to him for all these years, still put money into the family pot, still were reachable for him, but he didn't have to have intimacy or see them if he didn't want to, that they just were having the label, okay? That's the way I feel about it. He says, Jeff, you're reading too many tabloids. We didn't want this breakup. He's gone through 3 divorces in 3 years, and he's not happy. He's not a happy camper. He is not nice. And that is the most honest thing that Cody said through the whole duration of this episode, okay? We see the uncomfortable scene where Meri, Robyn, and Cody talk about this division of property at Coyote Pass. We get reminded that although at this point there are 3 wives, that Cody wants 5 lots. If you forgot, Robyn's supposed to get 4 acres. Janelle has 4, Cody has 4, and Meri has 2. And then the lot that was for Christine, which was 2, is also now Cody's. No matter how they want to word it, Cody and Robyn have the most lots because they are married. And in that conversation, Meri does point this out. Christine points out the fact that Cody is even still talking about taking a lot for himself is selfish, which it is, and it's not something that a polygamous man should be doing. Christine says equality would mean that you would get a new surveyor out there to survey the land, divide it into 4 so that it's equal rather than what it is currently, which is inequality. But that's a lot of the problem. On Twitter, someone pointed out that they're glad that Meri stopped being Cody's doormat. And Meri doesn't agree with that. Meri says she never was. And the fact that Meri still cannot see that she was Cody's doormat, I just feel like she doesn't know how bad this was. Maybe the correct word would be punching bag, banker, supplier, I don't know. But he very much so used that woman. We see the comment that the bird made while they were sitting out there saying that she deserves to have her own land as well because you never know if her and Cody are going to stay together. Even though she's saying that, you know, it was a bad joke, and even currently she says it again, and she's rubbing Cody's leg and saying, sorry, sweetie. I do feel like there was some truth to that. As soon as this money dries up, as soon as the show is over, the bird is going to walk away. I feel like she's already starting to prepare herself in some ways. The fact that she really wants to make sure that she has that property, the money has already probably significantly decreased, and it's going to get even worse because at this point, all of the wives are gone and it's just them. So one of them is probably going to have to get a real job because they're not pouring into the pot anymore, which means they can't take money out and toss it around the way they want to toss it around. Of course, her best friend forever, Meri, jumps in and says that she does agree that Robyn should have some of her own property. And she does have property. She has that $1 million home that is sitting not too far from Coyote Pass. She has more at this point than any of you all. But Meri, in her dumbness, feels like she deserves 4 acres. Why can't Robyn get 2? And let Meri get the 4? Since she already has the other stuff anyway. This is the stuff I'm talking about. You're trying to make it seem like you're owed a certain thing and all this other stuff. But what has Robyn really put into the family other than the debt that she previously bought and whatever appearances she's had on the show? Give her a little bit of money for that. But the home that she's living in, she got because of Janelle and Meri. So why can't her name not be on 4 acres? Why can't it be on 2? Seems like a happy medium to me. But even here, Meri's still defending her. Janelle says, in theory, if you really think about it, if Robyn decides to leave Cody, she will get at least half, if not more, if they divorce, because they are legally married. Meri feels like she deserved 2 more acres, and she did. Cody is sitting there shaking his head on the couch saying that he explained this to her over 100 times. We know that's not true because Cody hasn't even talked to her for more than 100 times. So how could he explain it to her 100 times? Number one. Number two, Christine left not too long ago, and she didn't even know that that was happening with the land until they sat out there to talk about it. Cody says they each deserve their own, and he wanted a lot for the family. Cody is changing the rules as he goes along because originally the family lot was a family lot that had Cody's name on it. But now Cody wants more. But there is no family, so why does he need that lot? Janelle and Meri better get smart and find a way to fix this. Get an attorney, because from what I understand, even though we see their names on that part, his name is still a part of their spaces. At least Janelle's. I don't know about Meri's, but it's still on their stuff. I don't know how true that is, but get an attorney and fix it. The Bird says she feels like everybody should get an equal lot, but Cody says we won't have a recreational lot where everybody can be. Who is everybody? The family's gone. Gone. They're gone. What are you saving this lot for when they don't even come? You still haven't made up with them. You still haven't talked to them. You need a lot for Robyn's kids? I'm confused. This hair is really bothering me. Well, my hair is just sticking out, y'all. Sorry, I noticed it's really bothering me. Okay. He says, we all know from experience that nobody's going to share with all the kids. I don't know what experience he's talking about, but Cody feels like what he's saying is logical. He's the only one that each of the children have claim on. The only children that have claim on him right now is Robyn's kids. But this is his story and he's sticking to it. They really believe what's coming out of their mouths as they sit on this couch. The two of them feed off of each other a lot. And I see why when they sit together, America loves it so much, because there's so much more ammo to use against them, because the both of them really are just spiraling together. We see the clip of Christine telling her brothers that Cody said that he not only wasn't attracted to her, but she wasn't nice to her sister wives. Janelle says that they know that's code for you're not nice to Robyn. And the Bald Eagle says, on the contrary, Robyn, really, Christine wasn't nice to me. Get the hell out of here. If that was the case, if Cody really felt like Christine wasn't nice to him, we would have heard that a long time ago. He's trying to change it now to make it seem like he did not say that. But it's obvious that he said it to Christine because we've heard him say it about Christine. Cody forgets sometimes the things that he says, but he said it. Janelle says Cody used to tell her all these crazy stories and he made it seem like Christine was being so mean. But now she's looking back and she doesn't think she was being mean, because mainly she's being accused of some of the same things. Cody interrupts and says that he had one angry argument with Janelle once where he said that. The only reason why Cody is admitting to this is because he knows that we saw it. It's on camera. He said Christine and Janelle and Meri used to talk about each other at different points, and now they're trying to make their breakups with him about Robyn, and that's actually a lie. We all know that Cody is the main reason why these wives are no longer with him. But let's be clear, Robyn is a catalyst. Robyn is that spark that got this thing going. She caused division because these people were bad off maybe, but not to this degree before she came along. But it's no point in even having those type of conversations because the two of them will talk each other off the ledge and make themselves seem like they're not the problem. Janelle doesn't like that Christine feels the need to continually let her know how great it is on the other side. She said it kind of makes her upset because she is fine. She is separated from Cody. But I think one of the reasons why Christine is so concerned and so adamant about pointing certain things out to Janelle at times is because she's seen her be separated before and go back to Cody, number one. Number two, she's still using the term separated. So Christine's concerned because you're not saying you're divorced. Janelle says, I don't need encouragement to leave. We no longer are going to be together because I left. I have 3 kids that are staying here in Flagstaff, and I like it here. Also, all of my assets are scrambled up, and I can't just up and move until that's taken care of. Janelle acts like she's above a lot of this, but Janelle is very much so still in it. Why has Janelle not sought some form of spiritual counsel at this point? Why? It's been over a year of her being separated. Why hasn't she sought spiritual counsel to find out how to get out of this? Why has Janelle not gotten an attorney to help her find out how to divide this property, how to get Cody's name off of her things? The fact that she's so defensive by what Christine's saying, to the point where she's more defensive with what Christine's saying than she is with the stuff that Cody says. Christine is saying, let me know that you're gone, basically. And she doesn't feel like she's fully left. And I don't feel like she has either. I said your assets are tied up. Get an attorney. Figure out how to separate them. Because if you really don't ever plan on getting back with him, why are you still allowing him to have that type of control? Take your finances back. We then see Jen, Meri's best friend, join her to watch the rest of the talk back. We see Robyn start to cry about Meri not planning to renew her lease and basically leaving Flagstaff. Jen, like the rest of America, does not understand why she's crying about that. Jen was good, but Jen still was holding back too. And I don't want friends that are going to coddle me. I need you to tell me like it is. Meri feels like the bird wanted sister wives and a plural family, and that's part of the reason why she's upset and crying. Jen says, but you've been trying to build a relationship, and every time you try, you're constantly disappointed. Every time I talk to you about it, you're like, we were going to do this, but it didn't happen. In other words, Jen is letting it be known. She's trying to act like she cares so much, but you've made efforts with her, and she hasn't made them with you. She's made broken promises. So I don't understand why she's upset. What Jen needs to do is shake her friend and say, there's no reason for her to be upset despite what you feel. Meri, I need you to know that the bird is acting. It's a bad act, but she's acting. She claims that the bird still wanted polygamy. And if she didn't, why would she keep saying to Meri, hold on, I need you to hold on. And I'm just like, okay, which one is it? Because we were told by the bird that she said hold on because Meri told her years ago that when she's ready to leave or she's feeling like it's rough, remind her to hold on. And here Meri's like, I don't know why she would be saying hold on if she didn't want to still be a part of polygamy. A little confusing. I just want to know if Meri is naive or dumb. Please put that down in the chat for me because I don't get it. Meri is doing a great job of acting like she's happy and completely done with this, but the way that she defends Cody and Robyn, she's still in it too. And I know she was married to him for 32 years and it's not that easy, but if a man was so neglectful of you for these past 10 years, 7 of which he's admitting to, why are you still trying to protect him? Jen said it's selfish because even though she wanted you to stay there, there was nothing there for you. So she's struggling with understanding why Robyn is sitting here crying and feeling this way, because she shouldn't be upset that Meri is doing something good for her. And I agree. Meri has no doubt that the bird did want Meri there. and that the bird has mixed feelings about her leaving. I don't understand how Meri has no doubt. And I don't understand why Robyn's leaving, because y'all went months at a time without seeing Meri. While she was right there, not going back and forth during the pandemic. You went months without seeing her. So what is the big deal about her moving away? Because you weren't seeing her. Christine said, it's basically about time that Robyn realized that it's unfair for Meri to stay there. Meri's talking about how she's going to move, and we see Cody talking about if she still wants to look at the lots. Christine, like us again, is surprised by this reaction. Her mouth is open. Christine alone, they could have just showed her and her reaction, because Christine was doing what a lot of us were doing the first time we saw it. We know Cody said that he doesn't consider himself married to Meri. We know he said that he doesn't care if she moved to Utah or not. We know at one point he wanted Meri to live in the barn, but he feels like none of that matters, and it's not stuff that Meri should bring up. Janelle said he would tell me that he told Meri that there was no hope. But then she would hear him say to Meri things like, let's go check out the property. So he has this really great way of sending these mixed signals. And she says, looking back at it, he's done it to a lot of people. And he wonders why it was because he legitimately felt this way, or because he knew that Robyn wanted polygamy. Jen says, I can't remember what clip they showed that made Jen say this. They showed some clip, and Jen says, so comments like these, oh, because of the flip-flopping that he does, and him saying, okay, let's go look at the lot. So Jen says, so comments like these are what made you unsure for 10 years? Cody once again brings it back to the catfish thing and says that Meri has struggled since she got catfish because she was a victim, and he did like that, of catfishing. What does the catfish have to do with her struggling? She was struggling before she decided to do what she did and emotionally cheat with this fake man. She was struggling emotionally. We've heard her say it. She said in the book that they were having difficulties even before Robyn came, and it got worse as we saw in Vegas. So what is he talking about? He said she's not being accountable for the discussions that they had, and neither is he, because he's not accountable for anything. He doesn't own anything. You have 3 different women sitting on our television screens, basically all saying that Cody says one thing and does another, that Cody plays games, that Cody flip-flops, that he isn't there. He does all of this, but it's no one else's fault but his. Janelle says it's wild how Cody flips the script on people as she's sitting there watching him talk to Meri. He accuses her of things even when Meri hasn't even said the things that he's accusing her of. This is coming from Janelle saying this based on watching the clip. Christine says he wants Meri to basically sit there and say that the marriage is over and she's leaving, the same way that Christine did. But Meri is not going to say that, because Meri still wants to be married. Cody makes a statement how he's been managing this relationship for 7 years between him and Meri. Jen says, does he mean hiding it? Christine says he's been ignoring her for 7 years. Quit the bull. Yes, Christine, you're right. He needs to quit the bull. They showed the clip of him saying, you want something that we can't have, but we can't have something else. Janelle says to stick around, basically, is what he wants, for them to be married, but to not have a relationship. Janelle thinks that because she's saying that she's separated from Cody and that she's not interacting with Cody, that she isn't on the same level as Meri. But I'm looking at Janelle a little with the side eye too, because why are you still around? I got to call it like I see it. I'm not saying still around in terms of you being in Flagstaff. I'm talking about you desiring to be on that property, your name still being attached to his, things of that nature. Eventually, Robyn starts crying on that scene, you know, the one from Coyote Pass. Ooh, I'm showing all my skin. Sorry, y'all. And she begins to walk off. And Christine says, oh my God. It's because of the dramatics. Jen is laughing too. Christine is looking from the television to us, from the television to us, from the television to us. Like, is this really happening? Meanwhile, Janelle is rolling her eyes. They're watching back to this supposed extremely emotional scene for Robyn. Robyn is on the couch and she starts fake crying really heavy on the couch, kind of similar to what she did at Coyote Pass. And as usual, she doesn't turn red or anything like that. But she leans her head back like she's about to cry harder, and Cody embraces her. The both of them are both victims, I'm just telling you. Meri talks about how part of the reason why she led the conversation the way she did at Coyote Pass is because she wanted it to be documented, that she wanted us basically to see what goes on, and she wanted Cody to be held accountable. We see Meri saying that I don't like that he's putting all of this on me and that he's not owning the part that he's told me in private, because in private he told me that he doesn't have interest in me anymore. Christine is sitting there visibly agreeing with Meri as we're watching this. She said Cody ended it years ago when he had no interest in having a plural marriage with Meri. That's what Christine said. Christine says he was dragging her for years and years and years. And unfortunately, Meri would have kept going and she would have loved to keep it going with him. She said it was not the catfish thing. He's been the one who said it was over a long time ago. I repeat, Christine said it was not the catfish thing. So Cody keeps trying to tell us that the catfish is what led to this, but Christine's saying no, it was over before that. He said it to her that it was over a long time ago. She said he would tell Meri, we're just going to get to know each other, and then not talk to her for a year and then repeat the same thing. Robyn comes back and Christine is like, why is she back? She just walked away crying. Why did she just leave to come back? I'm Christine, but she came back because what else does Robyn have to do except cry here and be the victim? Jen says Robyn in that scene wanting to come back just because she didn't want them to end is yet another example of her being selfish. Janelle says it is not fair to let this thing continue to go and to try and stop them from letting it come to an end. Why would you want to interfere with that? She said basically over the years, from trying to stop this from happening and from trying to give support, she thinks that they've created a situation that lasted longer than it should have. I agree. They use their doctrine as an excuse for why this is all going on, even though this family hasn't been religious for a long time. At some point, we see Meri saying she's not going to force somebody to be with her who doesn't want to be with her. She's not going to force them to act. Cody says an act is easy. Jen's mouth and Christine's mouth pop open. I'm telling you guys now, if you want to watch back to my season finale review of this, do so. But if Cody said that to me, I probably would have ended up putting hands on him. I'm not condoning violence, but what he said was so blatantly disrespectful, and he meant everything that he said. He repeats, the act is easy. Janelle says she was there. He was very involved back in the day. It wasn't just duty. It wasn't just the act. He was engaged with the family, changing diapers, whatever. But now because he found a different kind of love with Robyn, he's saying it was pretend. I want Janelle to know that he might have not been faking it with her at times, but he was faking it with the other wives. And it was obvious. You have Christine telling us that the man didn't even want to make out with her on her birthday, that they had sex at most 5 times a year. This isn't something that's happening from someone who isn't putting on an act. But what I think Janelle hasn't realized yet is from the beginning, Cody has always had a representative, and he's led with that representative. And the true Cody is now this person that we see. He then comes back and says, it wasn't an act, it was a performance. I was doing what I was supposed to do. Christine says he just has no clue of how he constantly digs this hole for himself, that he needs to stop talking. Janelle said that he wasn't the only one to honor his commitments. some of them were doing the same thing that he was, kind of implying that, they sometimes had to put on an act for him too. Janelle was really snarky with this. She was getting irritated. Robyn wants to know if she was wrong for interjecting when they were having that whole conversation on Coyote Pass, saying that he didn't mean what he was saying. He said he went on his honeymoon and trips and stuff with Meri, and there was something wrong a long time ago. Robyn thought that he was so attuned and attentive to his wives, but he was reacting to a bad emotional state, which makes no sense to me that he would say this to Robyn. And he thought it was love. She then says, see, there's the truth. Because Robyn now is going to try to flip this because she thinks we're stupid. I don't understand what the truth is. In that statement, he's saying that he didn't love them, that he basically was acting like he loved them. So what you thought was me loving them really was an act. But she's trying to fix what he said, and they're sitting there on the couch, and she's saying that him saying that it was an act was really what he thought was love. There's no way to try to fix what he said. We heard what he said. We didn't see him. Oh, what? We then see him saying that he is willing to fake being in love with Meri, putting up with the things that he struggles with in regards to her for the sake of whatever, right? Now that he's sitting next to Robyn, he's saying that by saying that he was willing to fake it, that he meant for the sake of religion. That doesn't fix it. Meri feels that she is backing up someone at this point who is really hurt and is really in pain, and she doesn't feel like he's in a good place. I feel like Cody isn't in a good place because of finances and because of the way that this looks. It doesn't have anything to do with them leaving. He's happy he lost these wives. Christine says everything that he's saying here is why he doesn't have a good relationship with all of his children. And that's a really good point. Cody likes to blame the wives for a lot of things, but these kids, some of them are watching the show. And if they're not watching the show, they're seeing some of the clips of the things that Cody has said. And Christine says, this is why Janelle left. This is why she left. They are all leaving because they've been called a duty, that he's been acting and he's performing. Man up and just say you want it to be over. We then see the whole statement he made with the agreement that he made with Robyn, because he knew that he didn't love his wives, that he agreed that he wouldn't string her along. If he's ever not in love with her, is what he said, he won't sit in a pathetic place with her. Janelle feels that it's a weird thing to promise when you go into a relationship. What Janelle is not seeing is that certain conversations were had with Robyn that led to that. I said it before, and Jen said it here. She said exactly what I'm thinking. She said something else happened in order for him to have that conversation with Robyn. She thinks that he was complaining before he even married Robyn about his wives pre-marriage. Yes. He was complaining about the relationships he had with them women. She said because Robyn must have said to him, if this happens with us, you got to make that promise that you're going to let me know. We then see Meri sit there as Jen is saying this and says, oh my gosh, are you serious? I never thought about it like that. Meanwhile, that's the first thing that came to a lot of our minds in watching this, that he said stuff about his wives to Robyn. I really feel like these women grew up in such a sheltered thing that just common sense things just aren't common sense. Robyn says this isn't what I wanted, and they hold hands, her and Meri. Cody in his somber voice says, it's not what I wanted either. Christine pretends to vomit and says it is what he wanted. We see that they hug and they agree that they are over, and he hopes that she finds peace because he will. Janelle says, because I have peace, I hope she finds it as well. What an ass. Robyn will continue to spend time on her knees. You know, she said that before, looking for peace and answers. I think she's going to be doing other things on her knees as well. As they're showing all these clips of the end, Robyn sitting there fake crying and covering her face as she watches herself fake crying on TV. The bird defies science because she manages to cry and she does not get flushed at all. I don't know how she does it. She's cried so much that her tear ducts no longer work. Janelle says if Robyn wanted to sit on the porch with her kids and her grandkids, then Cody should have done what he's supposed to do as a plural husband. Meanwhile, she's still sitting there on the couch, mumbling, fake sobbing, and she's saying she doesn't understand how they got to this. Christine says, when you monopolize a man in a plural marriage, it's a breakup waiting to happen. Janelle says, this is on Cody because he didn't honor his commitments and he wasn't a husband that was willing to grow and be there for all of his family. That you should not show favoritism, not have a favorite wife, blame them for certain things, like not being loyal and not being willing to grow and to work with your wives. Cody says that we're sitting here and we are watching the hardest days of their lives. And that is the end. Sorry this was all over the place. Kind of feel like the episode was all over the place. I like the first one better than this one because this scene with Meri and them is so drawn out and we've seen it so many times that I just feel like I don't want to see it anymore. I'm just glad she's gone, even if she didn't really want to go. You guys, please like the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until tomorrow,